Good evening, everyone. If you could take your seats, we'll get the program underway. My name is Paul Matthews. In addition to being a resident of the city of Worcester, lifelong resident, I'm also the Executive Director and CEO of the Worcester Regional Research Bureau, which is one of the hosts this evening with the city of Worcester. The Bureau is in its 40th year. I'm the third Executive Director, and we represent 40 years of continuous data-driven, objective, non-political policy research that's intended to help inform the public and guide our policymakers on a local, regional, and state level. So as part of our overall mission with transparency and good government decision-making, we embarked, this is our third State of the City address. Both of the prior efforts have been a great success. Particularly notable was last year's here at the JMAC, and also with City Manager Eric Batista. So I want to thank all the staff of the JMAC for doing such a wonderful job as a community institution and asset, not only this evening hosting this address, but in so many other ways serving the community. We actually brought our national peers here in 2023 and had a 2-day national conference here at the JMAC. So it's well known nationally, not just here in the city of Worcester. It's my pleasure and honor to be here tonight in order to kick off our proceedings. And I think it's particularly important to note that the city charter states the city manager, and I'm quoting, reading from it, is the chief administrative and executive officer of the city and shall be responsible to the city council for the proper administration of all city affairs properly entrusted to him or her. So the city manager has day-to-day purview of city affairs. I am very fortunate to have known Eric Batista well before he became city manager and worked closely with him when he was working tirelessly to support the public needs of the city of Worcester behind the public eye at the Office of Urban Innovation before he ascended to the city managership. And I can tell you, as someone who's been a longtime city resident, a parent of two, he literally has an eye on Worcester's future every time he looks at his two children. So I think we're very fortunate to be led by Eric as city CEO, but frankly, he's only as good as the community he leads. We're all here tonight to hear his message and hear what challenges and opportunities are facing Worcester. And I do call upon everyone to work together. Worcester has a long tradition of coming together as a community, new residents, old residents, immigrants, longtime residents, institutions, employers, nonprofits, to work together to overcome the challenges and maximize the benefits of the opportunities that we have. So while I'm looking forward to hearing what Eric has to say as city manager, it is incumbent upon all of us to see what we can do to ensure that Worcester's future remains as bright as it deserves. So on that note, I do want to next introduce Father Reverend Hugo Cano from the Cathedral Church of St. Paul. He's the rector of St. Paul. I learned today, as a lifelong Catholic, that the rector takes care of a cathedral or church that's under the purview of the bishop. So you learn something every day. He's a native of Columbia. He was named rector in June 2021. He's the director of the Diocese's Office of Hispanic Ministry, and he deserves our congratulations because this week he earned his master's from BC. So, Father.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Let us be in the presence of the Lord. Merciful God, we come before you with humble hearts, lifting up the city of Worcester and all who call it home. Every city reflects your compassionate and merciful care for our common home and its people. And we feel privileged to be part of a city rich in diversity, cultures, colors, languages, flavors, gifts, and talents. We are grateful for your abundant care. During this period of growth and challenges, we recognize the diversity of it. Within our community, we recognize we have homelessness, food insecurity, economic uncertainty, and the difficulties faced by our new immigrants. Many brothers and sisters are experiencing fear and discrimination in a city that was built by immigrants and enriched by the diversity of its people. We yearn to be a community that respects human dignity, truth, freedom, and justice, while being committed to the common good. As children of God, grant us the ability to cultivate fraternal coexistence, loving everyone without excluding anyone. Help us in solidarity to live in solidarity with the poor and work toward reconciliation and peace. We pray for resilience, for healing, for strength to confront this difficulty with compassion and with unwavering hope. May your guiding light inspire us to work together, support one another, and build a city rooted in justice, kindness, and understanding. Grant wisdom to our leaders, courage to our residents, and healing to those in greatest need. Help us see the potential for renewal and unity among adversity. May Worcester be a place where everyone feels valued, safe, and empowered to thrive. We trust in your grace. We trust in your mercy to lead us toward a brighter future. May our actions reflect love and solidarity, and may hope shine brightly in our hearts and in our city of Worcester. Amen.
Thank you very much, Father, for that very moving prayer. And I next want to say it's an honor to introduce a upcoming Doherty alum, given the fact I'm an alum and the father of an alum, Nayeli Roman, who's going to lead us in the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Wow, what a fantastic job. You did Doherty proud. Thank you very much. And I next need to introduce Oliver de la Paz, the city's poet laureate for 2023 to 2025. Not only does he have that title, but he's the author and editor of 7 books. One, The Boy in the Labyrinth, was a finalist for the Mass Book Award in Poetry. Another, The Diaspora Sonnets, was the winner of the 2023 New England Book Award and was longlisted for the National Book Award. He serves on the board for Poetry Daily and also on the board for the Worcester County Poetry Association. He's also the James N. and Sarah L. O'Reilly Barrett Professor in Creative Writing at our very own College of the Holy Cross.
In praise of Worcester, city of journeys, city of the rusted hush of dawn where asphalt whispers in 50 tongues, Spanish lullabies in kitchens, the prayers in Farsi rising from rooftops, where each consonant stirs in mouths as kids trade verses on Green Hill like they're swapping family secrets. City of journeys, who carries countries in its lungs, city who bends light into stovetop steam, turning cumin into compasses, whose hands remember oceans as they fold dumplings sizzling in the backdrop of receding snow. City of smokestacks and once frozen roofs that wear exiles like golden cloaks reflecting the spring sun. You crack-toothed, beautiful city, where winters chew through steel and bloom out poets into sidewalks once stained with salt. You beautiful city, where we find home in corner bodegas and our brilliant lives hemmed together with second shifts. City whose abuelas stitch the names of every grandchild into blankets as if to anchor them to the land. Whose after-school light spills from Chandler Street windows and laughter at Kelly Square crosswalks, where odors of cassava and kielbasa, pho and pierogies waft to join the air, where many stories are told in broken English, and where every block is built and rebuilt for all the mothers who sing to their sleeping children songs both remembered and newly made.
Thank you very much for that very stirring reading, and I hope it will be available later for download. I next need to introduce someone who literally needs no introduction, Mayor Joseph Petty. I will formally note he's serving his 14th term on the City Council and his 7th term as mayor, which includes serving as chair of the Worcester School Committee. So because he's the longest serving mayor in the city's history, I'm sure everyone in this room has met him multiple times. So I feel no need to actually introduce him, but Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Paul, and good evening, everyone, and welcome. I want to thank you all for being in here. I want to recognize some of our elected officials. We have Jesse Litterman from Senator Markey's office is with us, Kiana James from Senator Kennedy's office, at-large City Councilor Kate Toomey, at-large City Councilor Donna Colorio, District 1 City Councilor Jenny Pasillo, District 2 City Councilor Candy Merrill Carlson, District 4 City Councilor Louis O'Hader, and District D School Committee Alex Guardiola. And I also want to thank our performers, Niali Roman of Dory Memorial High School, and of course Oliver De La Paz. Nice job tonight. The last several months have left the city of Worcester in a position of vulnerability and pain as our community struggles with multiple crises. In the face of adversities we face, it is crucial that we tackle all these issues together. I believe that many of the issues we are navigating are meant to separate us and divide our community. But now more than ever, we need to stay together. As someone born and raised in this city, I know that our city leaders serve their communities out of their devotion to and love of Worcester. This city made me who I am, and I feel inspired to answer the call to get through challenges and find common ground even when we disagree. In this face of hardships, it is imperative for me as mayor, the city manager, the city council, and other local leaders to continue to step up and steward our community's path forward. We cannot do it alone. I encourage those here tonight to work with us as we navigate through uncharted territory and not give up on our city, the city that we all love. We will need to recognize our collective devotion to Worcester and do what we do best: put our heads together and roll up our sleeves. The municipality laid out our shared vision for the city over the next 5 years in the strategic plan last fall, and that, along with the Worcester Now Next plan, will serve as a guide and allow us the opportunity to navigate collaboratively. I know the city manager will share the progress of that plan tonight. We also want to highlight the city manager Batista's dedication to this city that welcomed him with open arms and helped him become the leader he is today. I am confident that we'll be able to get through the current difficult times with his vision and compassionate leadership. Before things are turned over to the city manager, it is now my pleasure to introduce a video that reflects the heart and spirit of Worcester and our continued progress forward. Thank you.
While the world shakes, we stay rooted. Worcester's heart will never be muted. Worcester holds its breath, then exhales belief. They watch us rise like we are not made of fight and flame. Worcester don't fold, we just learned the game. This city, my city, does not break. We just elevate.
Good evening, everyone. Buenas noches. I want to thank everyone who's here in person and also tuning in virtually for joining us tonight. I'm also honored to once again have this opportunity to address the state of the city. We have a lot to celebrate. But before I talk about the achievements of the past year and look ahead to what we have planned, I want to take a moment to reflect one of the most pressing challenges our city and our country is facing. I know that many of you listening tonight and residents across Worcester are in pain after the events on Eureka Street on May 8th. You are not alone in that pain. That day we saw national issues play out on our own doorsteps. Families and communities being terrorized and ripped apart. When I heard the anguish shrieks as a mother and a daughter were separated less than 2 weeks ago, I thought of my own family. I thought about what I would do if my sons or my wife were taken from me. The thought brings me to tears to my eyes even to today. A family experienced irreparable trauma. And today, our city stands on the brink of division. We cannot go back and change what happened, but we can learn from it and come together as a municipality and as a community to determine how we respond moving forward. On Friday, my office issued an executive order putting the city's police policy regarding ICE on paper, so there can be no question of how we respond when agents come into our city. I also began the process of releasing the body camera footage for the incident, so as a city, we can fully process what happened. My charge as city manager is to lead the city of Worcester, that includes the Worcester Police Department, 16 other municipal departments, and their nearly 2,000 employees, and all the residents of the city. But tonight, I want to reaffirm to all of you that my administration is prepared to manage the city through this, while staying true to the vision that we as a community have set ourselves. Before I begin speaking, we played a video that set up the themes of the night, and I want to revisit one of those lines now. In the words of our very own youth poet laureate, Serenity Jackson, while the world shakes, we stay rooted. Worcester's heart will never be muted. We will remain resilient, even as the world around us seems chaotic. And in fact, Worcester's heart is still beating strong as ever. The state of Worcester has not shifted since my last address. We continue to be strong. Last year, I told you we were in an era of opportunity. And if we took advantage of that, we could enter an era of accomplishment. And we did take advantage. We did take advantage. And a lot of what I'm going to speak about tonight are accomplishments. But we're also facing a time of uncertainty. And whether we like it or not, Worcester does not exist in its own bubble. The events of May 8th made that clear. Decisions on a national level can affect our overall quality of life, and especially our budget. However, no matter what is happening outside of the city limits, Worcester's priorities have not and will not change. We will continue to use the values set out in the strategic plan as a compass to guide us. Diversity, equity, and inclusion, innovation, professionalism, resident focus, evidence-based decision-making, excellence, and collaboration. That last value is particularly important, because I know that even though we always strive to, we do not always get it right. But by collaborating with stakeholders and members of our community, we can learn how to do it better. In fact, one great example of successful collaboration is our ability to host an event tonight. And I'd like to take a moment to thank everyone who made that possible. Thank you to the JMAC for hosting us for the second year in a row. I also want to thank the Worcester Regional Research Bureau Executive Director Paul Matthews and the entire board and staff for partnering with us again. Your nonpartisan research and data analysis have proven critical in breaking down the issues affecting Greater Worcester, including your highly anticipated report on civilian review boards. We are looking forward to your 37th Annual Thomas Green Awards next week and recognizing the unsung heroes of public service. Thank you to our incredible performers this evening, Doherty High School, Nayeli Roman. Thank you for that beautiful rendition of the national anthem. I referenced her earlier, the youth poet laureate, Serenity Jackson. Thank you for providing powerful words in that video. Thank you to Poet Laureate Oliver de la Paz for your poem describing our city and spirit. To Father Hugo Cano, thank you for leading us in prayer. I draw inspiration from those words. To our legislative body, the mayor, Mayor Petty, our city council, the entire city council, thank you for your continued partnership, support, leadership, and for your commitment to the needs of our residents. Thank you to our state and federal delegations, business leaders, institutional partners, academic allies, and all the invited guests here tonight for their collaboration. Again, let me emphasize this word, collaboration, as we address the challenges we face together. In addition to the values I mentioned earlier, the municipality is guided by its mission to deliver exceptional public services and operations that are rooted in equity, innovation, and integrity. We would not be able to deliver those services without the hard work and dedication of the entire municipal workforce. I call on everyone in the audience tonight to think about how you got here. Did you use your city roads? Did you stop at a stoplight? Did you park in a municipal garage? The often unseen work of our municipal workforce is part of your daily life. And I would ask at this moment, if there's any staff in this room, to please stand. Without you, our trash wouldn't get picked up, potholes wouldn't get expanded, and our parks would become overgrown. Please join me in thanking them and all the work that they've done each and every single day. In a day-to-day life, those are the services that really impact our residents and our families. I know because I'm a resident of Worcester and the father of 2 young children, Lucas and Liam. My sons serve as an inspiration to do what I do every day, work to help create a better Worcester for their future. As many of our residents know, it takes effort to balance a full-time job alongside caring for a family also in a home. When you don't see me at public events, I'm probably out buying diapers or watching Mufasa for the 100th time with my sons, all while fielding phone calls and text messages from residents, counselors, and employees. I would not be able to balance all of that without my incredible, strong, and supportive wife, Arianis. I want to give her a special shout out tonight because tonight is her birthday. So, happy birthday, babe. Thank you for everything you do for me and our family. In many ways, the city is its own family with a cast of familiar characters. We do not always get along, and sometimes very vocally. But at the end of the day, we all want Worcester to thrive. And just like a family, we come together in times of hardship and in times of triumph. We have weathered countless tragedies together, supported each other in emergencies, and celebrated victories with each other. We have come together in good times and in bad to be there for one another as a community. And we will continue to do so. I know right now we're hurting. We're hurting. And in many ways, the community feels fractured. But I'm calling on you now to come together and remember that Worcester stands for, and remember that we are at our strongest when we stand together. As former President Barack Obama said at a youth town hall in 2010, what is important is that we make sure to work together, that we understand our strength comes from unity, not division. Let me repeat that. Unity and not division. I invite you to take a minute to think about what you have been able to overcome when we come together and have each other's backs. I'm not insisting that we all agree with each other. Families rarely do, but I'm asking that we listen to each other and treat each other with respect. I am asking that we once again use our love for Worcester to find common ground. It's from common ground that we've worked diligently to plan the future of the city. And when I say we, I mean all of our city family. I mean the residents who show up at the city council meetings, answer surveys, attend meetings, and comment on our plans. I mean the nonprofits, developers, and organizations that we work with who continue to believe in the strength of this city. I mean the employees who are up early in the morning answering your 311 requests and who are up late at night engaging with public at committee meetings. We decided on the future of Worcester together, and it's enshrined in the municipal strategic plan and also the Worcester Now Next long-range branch, which will guide us, will guide our growth and our work for years to come. The plans are not just sitting on the shelf. The objectives we laid out stand true, and we are steadfast in our commitment to fulfill them. And we are going to actively measure our progress and hold ourselves accountable for achieving what we set out to do. Tonight, I will remind you of the 6 goals of the strategic plan, our progress to date, and our goals for the future. Our top priority is public health and safety, ensuring our residents can lead safe and healthy lives. I'll say what I said before. That is not negotiable. It is imperative that we build and maintain a public health and safety infrastructure based on trust in the needs of our community. I know that recent events and the release of the DOJ report in December have tested that trust. That is why it is more important than ever for our staff, from our police to our health experts to our engineers, to be out in the community connecting with residents and building relationships. Since July, Worcester police officers have spent over 20,000 hours conducting community engagement patrols. They are getting out of their cars and walking and talking with residents, getting to know the community they are serving, and letting the community get to know them. Worcester is always changing, and I recognize that to best serve the needs of the community, the municipality also needs to change with it. By constantly reviewing how we operate and listening to the experiences of our employees in the community and the external third parties, we can better serve both. While Worcester consistently ranks among the safest mid-sized cities in the United States, we did, unfortunately, had 16 homicides in 2024, 12 which involved firearms. These statistics are not just numbers. They represent someone's daughter, someone's mother, someone's son, someone's friend. There's a whole circle of people impacted. 13 of the 16 homicides are considered solved. But the Worcester Police Department is working hard to prevent these crimes from being committed in the first place. The department has already met its goal of creating a dedicated local firearms unit, which recovered 11 guns and made 27 arrests just from July to March. Department-wide, a total of 90 guns were seized. That's 90 guns taken off the streets that could otherwise cause further harm. The municipality is also at its best when its departments are working together. For example, in the past year, the Department of Health and Human Services has strengthened its coordination with the Police Department's Crisis Intervention Team to enhance non-emergency outreach and support for individuals in crisis. With the events of the world as heavy as they are, it is no surprise that we've seen a rise in substance use disorder and poor mental health. Fortunately, we have already made strides toward achieving our objective of reducing overdoses and minimizing the harms of substance use disorder. Through the HHS outreach team, 276 individuals accessed detox services, and nearly 1,400 doses of Narcan were administered. We will also working to stop people from being, before they start down the path of substance abuse. HHS has partnered with 14 youth serving organizations to connect youth and their families to mental health, substance use prevention, and support services through the Recreation Worcester program, which is celebrating its 10th anniversary this year. As we saw in the last year, our youth are also at risk of being the victims of traffic violence. They were sadly among several victims of car crashes that led us to declare a road safety and traffic violence crisis in August. It was more than just a statement. We have taken several significant steps to make our streets safer since. We have adopted a 25 mile per hour statutory speed limit, developed a Vision Zero safety action plan, and constructed more than 20 speed humps. We are taking steps to redesign our streets following the complete use model, which is aimed to allowing safe access to all people who need to use our streets. That includes developing a state-of-the-art pavement management program. The program is prioritizing routine and preventative maintenance instead of letting streets fall into disrepair before addressing them, giving the city better, more drivable streets. We envision a Worcester where workers can bike to offices, students can walk to school, and visitors can easily navigate all the wonderful things our city has to offer without having to worry about the harm inflicted by a speeding car or an unsafe sidewalk. The vision we have for Worcester does not just revolve around the streets. The future of Worcester we're building toward, as stated by the second priority goal, is affordable neighborhoods and reduce homelessness. That is not going to happen just because we want it to. We need to guide development to ensure that the diverse makeup of classes and cultures that shape the city we love can stay here. Worcester has not stopped growing, and there is an anticipated demand for over 12,000 new housing units by 2033. To keep up, the city will need to help bring in over 1,000 units a year. 1,000 units. Now that demand is exciting. It's exciting demand. People are seeking Worcester as a place to live, to work, and to play. At the same time, nearly 40% though, Worcester households are spending more than a third of their income on housing. When housing is eating up that much of your monthly budget, how much is left for food, clothing, childcare, and other daily costs? We want to make sure these residents can afford to not just stay in the city as our population grows and rents rise, but have a good quality of life. That's why we voluntarily went through the process of drafting a housing production plan, which we released in March to guide housing policies to enhance stability, supply, and affordability. It found Worcester's population is expected to grow to over 230,000 residents by 2050, with young professionals and families moving to the city. That's at least another 20,000 on top of our current population, which is already at an all-time high. Fun fact, that equates to adding Holden's entire population to the city. Part of the reason for our growth is also our employment base. In the past 10 years, Worcester has added over 8,000 jobs, and we have the potential to add another 14,000 jobs by 2034. That is something that we can all be proud of. However, most workers in Worcester's top 10 largest occupations cannot afford the median sales price of homes at $460,000 and median rent of more than $1,700. That is unacceptable. To increase the number of affordable units available for home buyers and renters, we have been deliberate as we increase the supply of units in the city. But the municipality cannot do the work alone. It requires cross-sector collaboration with small businesses, developers, community development corporations, and other stakeholders. We supported a coalition of partners in the completion of District 120, which brought 83 units of affordable housing online at 60% area median income or below. The application process painted a clear picture of the demand for affordable housing in the city. 750 applicants were submitted to fill just 83 apartments. That means that for every one apartment filled, there were at least 8 people or families still looking to find their home at a price they can afford. We want to help those families and have been building out our existing programs to help generate more units. In 2021, we established the Affordable Housing Trust Fund with $15 million of ARPA funding. In the last year, we committed the remainder of that funding and now are seeing some projects come to life. In total, trust fund projects have brought 571 new units to the city, 324 of which are affordable and 72 of which are ADA accessible. I'm also happy to report that the trust fund isn't going away. Now that the ARPA funding has finished, it will continuously be funded through our inclusionary zoning policy and the community preservation program. So far, $18 million invested through the fund has leveraged $306 million in residential construction. We're also creating pathways to homeownership to lower income, BIPOC, and immigrant households. The Down Payment Assistance Program, developed with federal funding and local partners, has allowed more than 40 families to turn the keys of their first property. Just this month, a woman and her 2 children who had previously been in and out of shelters moved into their new home. Now, she and other families will start building generational wealth, which will benefit both them and the city, as it will help improve our overall economic health. We know these efforts are still leaving some behind, and that the number of unhoused individuals in the city is growing. These individuals need services now, and we are taking another step to meet them where they are by working with local stakeholders to open a day resource center. Our homes are where most people go to rest, take care of ourselves, and rest. But when you're unhoused, you have to worry about where you can wash your clothes, go to the bathroom, and charge your phone. This center will give unhoused individuals a place to do all of that. It will also help facilitate access to housing, employment, and other resources. Our work with partners also resulted in the second year of the Restore, Motivate, Validate Emergency Winter Shelter. Listening to the demands of the community, this winter we were also able to add a dedicated emergency shelter for women. We are working with community partners to explore having the shelter available on a permanent basis. Worcester is a community that strives to take care of our neighbors and also our neighborhoods. Which brings me to our third priority goal, clean city initiatives. Neighborhoods, streets, and waterways that are clear of litter and contamination will provide our residents a higher quality of life. Unsurprisingly, we have developed plans to achieve this, from the Zero Waste Master Plan to the Green Worcester Plan. And as you may have noticed, we love plans. The Zero Waste Master Plan aims to chart a clear, actionable path toward a more sustainable zero waste future. We have made significant progress down that path in the past year. We launched the Clean Streets Collective, are actively working to increase our urban tree canopy, and finalize a plan to install over 150 new public recycling and trash bins on city streets, something we know you've all been calling for. And as you may have guessed, once again, we did not do that work alone. Members of the community gave their time on Saturday mornings and weeknights to join us planting trees in our new Milwaukee forest. And they continue to show up and volunteer to lead neighborhood cleanups. In addition to increasing our residents' quality of life, these efforts also help with our fourth priority goal, economic growth. The municipality is guiding transformative development initiatives that focus intensive resources on a specific district to accelerate economic development. We are working with business owners to beautify their corridors through the use of banners, planters, and facade improvements. We're driving foot traffic through hosting events like food truck and vendor pop-ups. We want to do everything we can to support our small businesses, owners, because we know how critical a role they play in our economy, in our community. These businesses act as a gathering spaces to bring community together and draw in visitors to experience all that Worcester has to offer. Good experiences at restaurants, bars, entertainment venues keep people coming back and encourage them to move here. We also streamlined our special event permitting process, taking away unnecessary hurdles for event planners, including waiving 18 permits and their associated fees. These events are part of what makes Worcester special. Residents get to share their culture and talents while attending and while attracting customers to both participating vendors and nearby businesses. In addition to small businesses, key employment sectors in Worcester include the life sciences, administrative services, healthcare, and government. You've already heard that Worcester could gain as many as 14,000 new jobs by 2034. Let me say that again. Let me say that again. So it resonates. So it resonates. 14,000 jobs. Nothing happens on its own. And we're going to do everything we can to support job creation and reach that number. Getting people stable, well-paying jobs can be life-changing. And as a college city, we want the students that come to Worcester and boost our economy to stay here. They already have their favorite bar, their running routes, and even their coffee shops. We just need to give them the same job opportunities here as they would get in other metropolitan areas. Our efforts are working, and you don't have to look far to see that. 6 of my direct office staff graduated from Worcester colleges and universities. We're expanding our life science and climate tech industries that can both take advantage of the pool of talent our colleges are generating. As part of our overall push to expand our employment base, the Worcester Jobs Fund has exceeded enrollment goals, supporting 118 residents in preparation for living wage career opportunities. Mass Hire has offered 35 job fairs and recruitment events, hosting over 350 employers and 7,000 job seekers. One of our biggest steps toward our jobs goal is also thanks to collaboration with multiple organizations. The Greendale Revitalization Initiative is transforming some of the Norton Company St. Gobain campus into the 50-acre Green Tech Park. That park could facilitate up to 1 million square feet of new manufacturing space and is expected to create over 1,000 new jobs. The project is only possible because of several funding sources from the public and private sectors. To be able to operate effectively and efficiently with collaborators, we need to be strong as an organization. If we're not operating from a place of strength, anything we try to achieve will be negatively impacted. That is why our 5th priority goal is high-performing government and strong financial health. One of the ways we can guarantee high performance is improving residents' ability to connect with us. The municipality is working to improve communication by giving residents places outside of City Hall to connect with the local government. This year, we piloted the 311 Customer Service Center, where the residents of Main South can go for anything, from their birth certificate to notifying us on a down tree or a pothole to renewing their passports. The center has been such a success, we are working to open one in each district. In fact, our proposed FY26 budget has funds to open an additional center next year. Speaking of our budget, however, we have worked hard to keep Worcester on a solid financial footing. A stable bond rating over the last 10 years shows we have done just that. To maintain that in this period of uncertainty, my administration is proposing a reserve budget with minimal new expenditures to guard against risk. The focus is strengthening core municipal services and providing them no matter what the circumstances. To prepare for that, we've proposed a $5 million contingency budget as a buffer to unanticipated federal, state, and grant reductions throughout the year. My administration has been committed to equity since I became city manager, and this proposed budget reflects that. We're undergoing pay equity analysis to ensure our municipal workers are getting paid fairly based on their job responsibilities, experience, and position. And while it doesn't involve any new positions being added since the last fiscal year, this is the first year we'll see all the positions filled in the Executive Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. The infrastructure exists, so our recently appointed Chief Equity Officer has the tools and support necessary to meet the needs of the municipality. It's Worcester's vision to be a thriving community where opportunities are available to everyone, regardless of their background or situation in life. Worcester has a history of welcoming people from all walks of life, and that is still true. In February, the City Council voted to adopt a resolution declaring Worcester a sanctuary city for transgender and gender diverse people. The Office of New Americans, which the city helps fund, connects immigrants and refugees to all the services they need to get settled. Our status as a welcoming city is important. Our status as a welcoming city is important to us. And we have been working for the past several months to receive a designation from Welcoming America. So why pursue that designation? Because we're not complacent. Welcoming America provides a welcoming standard which sets benchmarks that will hold us accountable as a welcoming city and spur innovation. Being an inclusive city is a badge where we want to wear proudly, and we're not going to let current national politics impact that. It is easy to uphold your values when no one is questioning them. It shows your true character if you can still uphold them in the face of potential backlash. As Martin Luther King Jr. said, the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in the moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. I want to make decisions that will make my sons proud, because those decisions will not just impact my son's future, they will impact the future of all children growing up here. That's why our sixth and final priority goal is investment in quality education. The children walking the halls of our 46 public schools could one day walk the halls of our executive offices, City Hall, our hospitals, our State House. They will inherit whatever we leave for them, and they will be the ones in the positions to make decisions. To secure a better future for Worcester, it is essential to secure a better future for our students. To do that, we need to give them a solid foundation, starting with their school buildings. And I do want to take this moment. I don't know if she's here, but I do want to thank departing school superintendent, Rachel Morales, for her partnership, her friendship in that work. And I look forward to continuing that partnership with incoming Superintendent Brian Allen. So thank you, Superintendent Rachel Morales. In the past fiscal year, the municipality contributed more than $10 million on behalf of school operations and debt reserves for the future of school projects. In August, thanks to local and state partners, the new Doherty High School opened with state-of-the-art facilities for physical education, the arts, and career technical education. Every aspect of the school construction was forward-looking. That means we took the realities of climate change seriously in its construction. The school has electric vehicle charging stations, bicycle storage, and a solar energy system that provides 50% of the school's electricity. As we plan the city's future, it is with sustainability and resilience in mind. We are making progress. The city reduced its greenhouse emissions by 8.2% from 2009 to 2023, and our energy savings performance contract has resulted in an 18% reduction in municipal energy use over the past decade. These efforts will not be enough on their own. We've woven sustainability and resilience goals into the municipality's broader vision for growth and well-being to create a city that thrives amid a changing climate change conditions. The future of Worcester is something we are building together. Municipal departments, residents, nonprofits, developers, and more will all have their hand in the Worcester we see 5, 10, and 20 years from now. Our greatest chance to create the Worcester we want to see is if we all work communally toward a shared vision. Communally toward a shared vision. Right now, the idea that people with such varying backgrounds and experiences would have the same vision may seem impossible. It might seem even more impossible when we're met with daunting news on what seems like a daily basis. But we're still making progress toward our vision, a thriving community where opportunity is available to everyone, every single day. People are choosing to move to Worcester because of the welcoming community we have all built together. They are staying here because we're making sure they have the resources they need to succeed. Worcester residents are putting the city on an international stage. Worcester native Steven Nedorowski had an epic run at the Paris Olympics, earning 2 bronze medals and winning the hearts of the world as the pommel horse guy. UMass Chan Medical School professor Victor Ambrose won a 2024 Nobel Prize for his co-discovery of microRNA, the second professor there to claim that achievement. And the Beyond Wrestling community has created such a pull to the city. The Grammy-nominated artist Clairo filmed a music video here. One of the many exciting things filmed in the city over the last year. We have done all of this while upholding the values we've set for ourselves. So even though times are uncertain now, there is still something that we can count on, and we should count on, and it's each other. Look at the people around you. Look at them. Think about how they stepped up and supported the community when it needed it most. Think about what you have done yourself to support the community. It is because of all of you and the work we've done together that we were able to enter an era of opportunity in the first place. You, our residents, business owners, students, and workers are why the state of Worcester is strong. You are the consistent heartbeat that keeps this city running. When you walk out of this theater or end this stream, I want you to focus on that. Instead of giving to the anger and division, think about the friends, family, and neighbors that make up your community. Commit to standing up and standing together with them to achieve the vision we set for ourselves. Because if we do, I know we will not break. Like the video said, we will not break. We will elevate the state of Worcester for generations to come. Thank you and God bless.
I want to commend City Manager Eric Batista for his commitment to report directly to the community, those at home as well as those here, even during challenging and divisive times. I think it's tremendously commendable. I also want to commend him on his grace under pressure, which I think we've seen quite literally this evening. So let's give another round of applause, please. Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone, and thank you to the JMAC.